They'll be looking for you.
Daddy's coming. We need to go. We need to go now!
What the fuck are you?
Shut up and listen if you want to stay alive. Ethan, you gotta get out of that house.
Lose it. It's important.
And all the locations in the game are packed with lots of small details. Your flashlight plays an important role in this. Not only are the lighting effects beautiful to look at, but light is a vital tool of combat. It's used to disintegrate enemies and also to help out with exploration and discovering hidden areas. Set against the inky blackness of the forest and haunted valleys around Bright Falls, it can be particularly effective at generating tension and evoking a sense of dread as you step into the light to escape the dangers beyond the shadows. You'll also see some flashy particle effects as lights blast away darkness with the burning ferocity of a circular saw on sheet metal. Sound design is also excellent. Sound effects squeal, strings surge, the winds hiss, and pianos patter into existence to underscore the mood of the visuals. Remedy made Max Payne and gave us bullet time, so there's no doubt the studio knows how to make a stellar action game. Downside of the combat is the camera. Sometimes you'll find the trees and other objects block your view, which can be especially deadly in some of the harder fights. Other sequences are mixed in to keep the gameplay varied. You'll explore sunny vistas and buildings, interact with NPCs, uncover loads of hidden items and collectibles, and take part in the occasional driving sequence and boss fight. I won't say too much for fear of spoiling some of the more impressive action set pieces, but I will say if you have the opportunity to talk to someone, to listen to a radio broadcast, or watch a television program, you should do it. All of them strengthen the personality of the game and make for a better overall experience.
Tonight's episode.
Back again, Detective?
After finishing The Evil Within 2, I was exhausted, like I'd been through an ordeal. Thinking back on my 20 hours with it, I had. The Evil Within 2 is an ambitious, genuinely tense, and at times brutally difficult experience, but one that left me exhilarated. Like the original before it, The Evil Within 2 may not know how to deliver convincing dialogue or maintain a consistent tone, but it does know that the mark of pure survival horror is to leave you feeling like you only just survived, time after time after time. Within, though, and its world remains delightfully malleable and weird. The sense that it could change the rules at any moment keeps things interesting, despite, or perhaps because of, its inherent ridiculousness. The Evil Within 2 story travels an unusual road, as its first half is tonally very different from its second. Sebastian begins his journey preoccupied with a deranged murderer.
You're beginning to bore me.
Which is a meandering mystery punctuated by a weak boss fight. It made me miss the non-stop climactic encounters and big moments of the original. Its second half, on the other hand, travels at a breakneck pace, and its strength and surety made me wonder what the first half was even there for. I would never accuse The Evil Within 2 of being inconsistent in its mood, however. At every turn, Tango has done a great deal with lighting. Dimly lit corridors feel claustrophobic, creating a sense of inevitability. It's a much bigger mini sandbox this time around too, and you have more freedom in exploring it. Union, aka Anytown, USA, is a sprawling post-apocalyptic mess of diners and picket fences peppered with innumerable horrors. It's full of nooks and crannies that offer unique enemy encounters, side quests, and loot that feel organically baked into the world. In every instance, exploration in The Evil Within 2 is worth it, and in the case of scavenging for loot, it's absolutely vital. I was frequently putting Sebastian in ridiculous amounts of danger just to find enough weapon parts to add another bullet chamber to my handgun. Blindly sprinting towards a glimmering light in the distance as the sound of enemies roaring at my heels with The Evil Within 2's excellent score pounding in my ears was a rush every time. If you're caught by a mob, particularly early on, you'll die more often than not. Enemies are plentiful, relentless, and delightfully gross in their attacks. More, they're quite erratic in their movements, so sneak kills aren't always the best option if you're not close to your target. You don't always have to fight though. Like its predecessor, The Evil Within 2 allows for a stealthy approach, and it's slightly more feasible this time around thanks to a bigger playground and a new stealth upgrade path. But I found shooting enemies in the head was a more accessible option on the whole. In classic survival horror style, much of the exhilaration in The Evil Within 2 comes from being spotted and having to suddenly launch into a fight, making do with whatever sparse resources you have at hand. I was frequently forced to experiment with the lesser used weapons in my arsenal, making for unexpectedly creative fights, while other times it was a case of absolutely needing to land every single headshot with my handgun, while desperately searching for respawning ammo in the near vicinity before landing that final crunchy blow. With scarcity of ammo in mind though, I would have liked more visual or audio feedback from the enemies themselves to let me know when a shot was actually counted. I found one boss fight particularly frustrating as he appeared to not even register my sneaky headshots. There was no grunt of pain or step backwards that would indicate progression in the fight. When every bullet counts, you should know when your shots do too. The Evil Within 2 gives you more options to play your way in a much bigger survival horror playground than the original. Although a disjointed plot and weak protagonist make it slow to get started, being pursued through an intriguingly bizarre world by plentiful and disturbing monsters kept my palms sweaty and my heart in my throat thanks to a strict adherence to the most important survival horror rule: you should always be on the back foot. For more on The Evil Within 2, check out our graphics comparison, Evil Within in 5 minutes, and the first 15 minutes of The Evil Within 2.
Is he alive?
Isaac Clarke. I'm going to show you some images and I want you to tell me about them. It was just a short but there were things in my head. There's so much shit in my head. What did the Silver whisper?
Where are you going? It's not over between us. You can't run
Isaac, we're all gonna burn for what we did to you.
vision device fully operational, sir.
Excellent. Bring in the other subjects.